All right, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I have posted, and I've really just been holding back my excitement because really I was trying to formulate what I could do content on next, and I was trying to get some inspiration from other channels, but I'm like, well, I have some upgrades coming. Why don't I just review a couple of these upgrades that I'm going to be adding to the rig? And most importantly, the icing on the cake, and I've already driven with them. So Lunatech Motorsports makes a rumble kit that looked very attractive to me. So it had your gas rumbler and your brake rumbler. And what that would simulate is as you're driving, I have a couple of settings that, and we'll get into this later about the settings and configuration, that it will simulate ABS, simulated road texture, more so that you want to focus on the actual road impacts so that when you're hitting bumps or even rocks in the road or curbs, you're going to feel that translated through the actual physical pedal faces. So for example, if I'm coming up to a tight corner and I have to brake, typically I can't feel my brakes locking up. I'm listening for it, right? So if I hear the high-pitched noise, then I know, okay, I need to let off the brakes a little bit instead of engaging so much. So instead of listening for it, I can actually feel for the actual brake locking up itself. So the vibrations will be translated through the brake so that I'm able to lift and then kind of recalibrate to keep pushing forward. Same thing goes with the gas. So if I'm coming out of a corner and I'm spinning just a little bit, I'll be able to, typically I would hear the tires screeching if I'm burning out a little bit, or if I'm having some tire slip, anything like that. I'm like, oh, so let's back up a little bit, or let off the gas a little bit and then regain traction once again. So this, if I have any type of any feedback when it comes to the tires specifically or braking specifically, I'm going to be able to feel that. And that's what's so unique about the software of SimHub and these rumblers. All right, here we are on the back of the rig. It was quite the chore getting back here, but we just wanted to show you guys what these look like up close. So this is the rumbler kit attached to the physical brake itself. Now what this guy does, Lunatech Motorsports, they 3D print these, and it fits specifically to the back of your brake pedal. Same thing with the gas over here. It's a very simple process. All you do is unscrew these four, and there's two more on the other side on the opposite. You back all these out, and then you just reapply them exactly where they need to be. Very simple, very straightforward, and they basically connect to this control box. Now it's some organized chaos back here, so forgive the wiring mess. And it connects to this box right here. So this is the brains of it all. And this also connects via USB to the back of the computer, which is kind of a mess over there. And as you can see, that's really how it all connects. And comes with a very standard plug-in for power. So let's see these things in action. I'm gonna set these cameras up and see what this looks like. All right, and we are back in Automobilista 2, now checking out in real time what these pedals are capable of, and obviously real-time reactions as well. Now, right off bat, I can tell you I'm already getting a ton of feedback through these pedal faces. I'll be able to show you guys how I configured these accordingly, but there are a ton of YouTube guides that you guys can follow and set these up accordingly in SimHub. Some of the most important ones that you guys are going to want to have enabled is obviously TC active, which is your traction control, your ABS active, and of course wheels lock, tire slip, and last but not least is going to be road impacts. Now, obviously, as you guys know, with base shakers and things like that, you don't want to have too many enabled. And if we have too many enabled, it feels very meshed and put together, almost too broad of a spectrum. But I'll tell you right now, right off the bat, I feel insanely connected to the car because I'm able to recognize what's being translated through the actual pedal faces themselves. So when I'm going over these curbs, or I hit a little bit of an impact here, I feel that through the gas and the brake. And then if I brake too hard, for instance, like so, I feel the ABS kick in, and that also vibrates and gives me some haptic feedback. One other thing,
as I come out of corners, if I go a little bit too aggressive, I also feel some vibration and haptic feedback through the gas pedal as well. So I guess the verdict is it worth it? I would have to say, I don't know why I didn't buy these sooner. Just priorities and stuff, but absolutely, they are a game changer, literal game changer, and I highly recommend them.
I'm excited. It's insane. It's absolutely worth it. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking about maybe even your next upgrade, get the Rumbler kit, buy Lunatech or 3D Sim. Wherever it is, make sure it's a quality builder. They got a good reputation. There's a ton of guys, even on Etsy, the private seller, but he also ships out of California here, based in the US. And he 3D prints all these, adds the motors, custom builds it to whichever pedal set that you have. Thank God that he had the SimJack Pros, because there's not a lot of guys out there that even know about the SimJack Pros. And now that they're gaining some popularity, which is really, really cool, I love these pedals. They're actually, and if you guys didn't know this, they're actually a replica of the HE Sprints, which are like, what, $1,400? So I had a ton of upgrades, but this is for another video. I upgraded the brake, the clutch, and even the bearings that help stabilize everything so everything's running really smoothly. That will wrap up today's video. If you guys have any questions, feel free. Even if it takes me a couple of days, I usually respond to everybody. And until next time, you guys are awesome. Thank you.